Joining us now, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. You just heard that report. You know, let me back up. The Attorney General, sir, Merrick Garland, he's criticized for offering no data to support what he's doing with this major federal firepower. No facts that any police department or state anywhere asked for this federal help here. What do you say to this?
You know, this is one of the most concerning things I've ever seen come out of government. It scares me that the Attorney General is threatening parents, threatening their free speech, chilling free speech, and acting more like a bully than the Attorney General of the country. I can tell you in my state, this will not be happening. We will defend parents, and we will stand up for parents' rights to speak out what they think is the truth about critical race theory and other issues going on at their school.
You know, sir, the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, is saying they don't need to do this. There's already state laws on the books against harassment. So why do you need all of this firepower on it, right? The Attorney General wants a partnership with local states, local territories, among federal agencies around the country, and also tribal law enforcement, right? So there's that issue. Why all the firepower?
It's a very good question. I think Ron DeSantis is right. We can handle this locally. We don't need the federal government. We don't need these law enforcement agents, the FBI, the Department of Justice, slamming this down our throats. Let us deal with this locally. If somebody is threatened, then it can be investigated locally. But parents should not be intimidated, and I hope they are not. Because of this, I hope they'll continue to speak out what they think is good for their children, and that this will not chill free speech.
You know, the Attorney General Garland faces new scrutiny that his daughter is married to the co-founder of a consultancy called Panorama. Panorama has multi-million-dollar school board contracts to data mine information on school children. That's according to new reports coming in. They're looking at their social and emotional learning. This Panorama consultancy also got millions of dollars in funding from Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg's charitable foundation. What do you say to that?
Well, that's again concerning. I think he needs to disclose his son's interest and his interest in this company, especially when he's coming out now talking about school boards and parents not being able to talk to school boards. These look like conflicts of interest to me, and he needs to disclose those and let the American people know what's going on, and there needs to be transparency as it relates to the Attorney General.
Okay, so getting back to what the White House is doing, the president says doing this, going after parents like this is okay. You know, this is after he said it's, quote, part of the process that far-left activists stalk and harass his own Democrat Party senators. Little to no condemnation of rioters and Antifa destroying cities in riots that the media called mostly peaceful. And Democrats want the IRS to snoop into everyone's bank transactions with as little as $600 in transactions. That's like treating everyone as a criminal suspect. What is going on with this White House? The president campaigned saying, I will not politicize the Justice Department. What's happening now?
It's completely being politicized. I mean, to let go what happened in our country with all these riots, and all of those people were not investigated. A lot of them were not punished. They were not prosecuted. And now you're threatening regular parents, millions of parents. All they care about is their children, wanting a good education for their children. And suddenly they're the ones that are going to be investigated. They're the ones that could be prosecuted. This is very political. And President Biden, honestly, has just not told us the truth.
How about listening to what the parents are saying? Where is the Education Department on that? The parents have legitimate questions about what their kids are learning at these schools. The parents are the bosses of elected school officials and school board members. The parents are in charge. They're seeing porn going into their school children's books in their school libraries. They're seeing all sorts of toxic curricula coming into their children's heads, and they don't want it. How about listening to them first and sitting down with them first instead of sicking the FBI on them?
Well, you know what? I couldn't have said it better myself. These parents have a right to be angry about what's happening, from the COVID mandates to what's being taught to their kids with this critical race theory and all these things you just mentioned. Parents have a right to control their children's education, and I think that's why you're seeing people leaving the public schools, because they feel like they have no choice, that they cannot control their children's education, and they're being dictated by local officials and local governments about how their kids are going to be elected. It's exactly as you said. Parents should have a great amount of input in how their kids are educated.
You know, it's interesting, at a Senate hearing this week, Senator Tom Cotton asked the Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, is this an issue? And she testified, she said, what parents are protesting about is not extremism. Okay, Attorney General Ken Paxton, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you. We'll have you back on again soon.